Hi everybody, welcome to our Wednesday TNT quick update with what's happening with those two Kiwi brothers. Obviously it's been a big hot topic, not much new news, but this from rnz.co.nz, a New Zealand publication, saying New Zealand brothers remain behind bars after appearing in a Phuket court. Two New Zealand brothers remain behind bars after appearing in a Phuket court following a scuffle with a Thai police officer earlier in the week. It actually happened on Saturday. Hamish and Oscar Day have been charged with multiple offences, including robbery, assaulting an officer, attempted bribery and driving a motorcycle without a licence. And Phuket News journalist JP Mastanza told RNZ Checkpoint today that the two brothers appeared in court on Monday, but it was just a formality. He said they would be held in a jail at the back of the courthouse until authorities decided on how to proceed. JP said local police were still sorting out exactly what happened, but there appeared to be an offer of a bribe, and the fight began when the officer took out his phone to take a photo of the licence plate. And that story making no reference to the two gunshots that were fired. He said the incident was part of a larger crackdown in Thailand over foreigners in Thailand. And that may indeed be true, certainly if you follow the media. Let's go to the front page of thephuket.express.com. British man arrested for allegedly selling cocaine in Phuket. Russian man arrested at Cottage restaurant for allegedly working without legal permission. Yemeni man arrested for allegedly working at Patong grocery store. And there's more. Alleged Russian prostitute arrested in WeChat. And 3 foreigners arrested for drunk driving in Patong. Now, normally foreigners being arrested for drunk driving wouldn't make the news, but at the moment it appears, well, it does. Which takes us to this story, published in calsotenglish.com. Pha Ngan cops charge Russian woman with kicking pregnant Thai. And on March the 19th, this is yesterday, a Russian woman was charged with assault by police on Koh Pha Ngan after she kicked a pregnant Thai woman. The Russian apologised for her behaviour, but the Thai woman has pressed charges. The incident took place on the afternoon of March the 18th. The 34-year-old Thai woman was working in her natural product store in Koh Pha Ngan when a foreign woman with shoes and a coffee cup entered the store. A sign on the front door of the store stated entry with shoes was not permitted. Mrs. Satika explained to the foreigner in English that she was not allowed to wear shoes in the store or bring drinks from outside the store. However, the foreigner ignored her. The pregnant woman repeated her request, to which the foreigner replied that her shoes were not dirty. When Mrs. Satika insisted that the foreign woman take off her shoes, the foreign woman kicked her twice on the right leg, causing slight abrasions. The foreign woman then walked away. Going to some further coverage on this, ThaiPBSWorld.com, and it's headlined Russian kicking suspect surrenders to Pha Ngan Island police. And it reports the Russian then allegedly yelled and used abusive language. When informed that she was not welcome on being asked to leave, she allegedly kicked the pregnant owner and departed. So it looks like yesterday the Russian woman has turned up at the Pha Ngan police station, officially apologised to the Thai woman, but the heavily pregnant Thai woman has decided to press charges, so we'll let that go to court. So here we've got a foreigner kicking a Thai woman, a pregnant Thai woman. So far we haven't seen anywhere near the outrage that we had, say, a couple of weeks ago with the Swiss man in Cape Yamu, Phuket, who kicked the young Thai doctor. That will go to court, so they remain allegations. But nowhere near that same sense of outrage so far in either the Thai media or the English-speaking media as the incident with the Swiss man. What's different? You tell us what you think about this and the way it's travelling through the media so far. You might get the impression reading the media lately or even watching this program that there's some uprising of foreigners in Thailand and particularly in Phuket. Well, it's not really the case. There's no more incidents being reported than there has in the past. There just seems to be a lot more interest in some of those incidents, and when one becomes big, then of course the focus of the media is on anything that looks anything like that. and in cases which would usually not even rate media attention, there is now a lot of media attention. So again, I'm sort of interested in what you think about this dynamic. Certainly, Thailand is still a very safe and happy place to visit in 99.9% of the cases. Moving on to another story, having just said how safe Thailand is, it's reported in the Bangkok Post and it says bus crash kills driver, 44 passengers hurt. And 2 drivers of a long-haul bus were killed and 44 passengers injured when it hit a steel support for a road sign in Muang district early Tuesday morning. The double-decker was on the way from Koh Pha Ngan to Bangkok. The bus slammed into a steel leg supporting a sign showing destination directions. Both the driver and relief driver were killed by the impact and 44 passengers were injured, 12 of them from Laos. And police said the bus had left Nakhon Ratchasima 2 bus terminal after a meal break, heading to Bangkok. It appeared the driver had lost control at a curve while descending to a bridge crossing the northeastern rail track. And just again putting this into perspective, on any given day there are thousands upon thousands of buses travelling on Thai roads. Sadly, these incidents do continue to happen. Now, yesterday somebody wrote in saying, "Oh, Tim, we enjoy your program, but me and my wife, we don't like you reporting about the PM 2.5 and air pollution problem up in northern Thailand, and we switch off." So just a warning to that couple that I'm about to report about the PM 2.5 situation up north, so you can turn off, and hopefully we'll see you next time. All right, now to everybody else, here we go. To ThaiPBSWorld.com, air pollution in Chiang Mai highlighted in Chinese lifestyle social media. And airborne pollution in Chiang Mai, which was ranked the most polluted city in the world by the Real-Time Air Quality Index, AQI, last week, has become a topic of widespread criticism in a popular Chinese lifestyle social media. According to Ai Chong's Facebook post on events and lifestyles in China, the hashtag smog season in Chiang Mai has attracted about 50,000 views, while another hashtag, air pollution, has attracted over 17 million views. One post about pollution in Chiang Mai reads, "Bye bye Chiang Mai, we'll return the next time because the smog problem is unbearable." Meanwhile, CNN reported on the pollution in Chiang Mai, noting that the airborne pollutants are 20 times higher than the standard of the WHO. It reported that the problems are being caused by the burning of farm waste to prepare land for the next crop cycle. And again, just a quick warning for those people that get triggered by any mention of CNN. I've always regarded their international coverage as excellent, and this story is too. The world's 100 worst polluted cities are in Asia, and 83 of them are in just one country. And the vast majority of these cities, 83, were in India. All exceeded the WHO air quality guidelines by more than 10 times, according to IQ Air, which we regularly reference on this program. Chiang Mai itself gets a tiny mention at the end of the article. We'll get to that in a moment. Here's a graph of Asian countries' top air pollution ranking for 2023. Interesting to see that you've got Bangladesh, Pakistan, India at the top, Tajikistan, all the way down to Qatar, Indonesia and Rwanda at the bottom, and Thailand as a country doesn't make it into that particular list, which is good to see. It also reported that China reversed a 5-year trend of declining levels of pollution, and Chinese cities used to dominate global rankings of the world's worst air quality, but a raft of clean air policies over the past decade has transformed things for the better. And then we get a bit closer to home. Indonesia was the most polluted country in the region, with a 20% increase compared to 2022. Indonesia, Vietnam and Thailand all had cities that exceeded WHO PM 2.5 guidelines by more than 10 times. And then it says, on Friday, tourism hotspot Chiang Mai was the world's most polluted city as toxic smog brought by seasonal agricultural burning blanketed the northern city. So in response to all this, and given the Prime Minister was up in Chiang Mai last Friday, the Cabinet's now made a decision about the import of maize. Bangkok Post reporting Thailand to ban maize from field burning countries. and the Cabinet on Tuesday approved a ban on maize imports from areas where farmers burn off their fields, with enabling legislation to take effect this year. The move is aimed at reducing the annual smog fest. Well, again, all of this is going to do diddly squat to improve the current situation up in the north of Thailand, but at least it's heading in the right direction. According to the spokesman, market demand in Thailand is for 8.9 million tonnes of maize annually. And Thailand currently imports about 1.6 million tonnes of maize from neighbouring countries. And that includes 600,000 to 700,000 tonnes from Myanmar, 300,000 to 400,000 tonnes from Laos, and about 100,000 tonnes from Cambodia. And the Prime Minister said the measures imposed on maize imports will also have to be in line with the Clean Air Bill, which will soon complete its passage through the House of Representatives. Again, all heading in the right direction, but none of this is going to help those people who are suffering from the poor air in northern Thailand at the moment. With thanks to our sponsors 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. They'll take you out on a private bespoke charter tour out onto Phang Nga Bay, maybe beyond, to some of those beautiful islands, some 30 islands, and the captains know about some beaches that, well, you wouldn't have heard about and that you'll be very happy to visit. Hopefully when you get the opportunity to travel with 5 Star Marine, it's going to be a day just like today with perfect weather conditions. Now, speaking of travel, to our next story, and we head to nationthailand.com. Bangkok Airways buys 15% stake in U-Tapao Eastern Airport from BTS. No, we're not talking about the Korean band, we're talking about the Bangkok train service. Now, Bangkok Airways buying a stake in U-Tapao, that's interesting for a lot of reasons. We'll get to that in a moment. And according to the company's letter to the stock exchange, the BTS has sold 15,000 shares of UTB, a subsidiary engaging in airport city management. The stake sold for 1.6 million baht, or 100 baht per share, to the airline. Now, Bangkok Airways, of course, owns the Samui Airport, and that's led to, well, probably a couple of decades of a monopoly that's always had very high prices for people travelling by Bangkok Airways to Samui. Hopefully that won't happen in U-Tapao with this particular deal. Now, another airline in the news, although not referred to in this article from nationthailand.com, call for legal action as airline refuses to let wheelchair user board flight. And a wheelchair user wrote to the Lawyers Council of Thailand calling for legal action against an unnamed airline for not letting him board a flight to Chiang Mai. Now, we're assuming this relates to a story we did last week about a Thai VietJet staff refusing boarding for a disabled passenger because of some of the way they interpreted their own rules. And he said that an airline flying out of Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport had not let him board its 6:30 a.m. flight to Chiang Rai on February the 1st. He said he had to fly to Chiang Rai and then travel by car to Phayao to meet the provincial governor there. He said this was the first time ever he's faced this problem with an airline. He said, an official told me that the airline does not have a policy to take care of wheelchair users who cannot walk. Meanwhile, the council president said every person with disabilities should receive equal protection of human rights and liberties under the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. He said the council will establish a working team to help Krisana with the legal procedure. Well, the person on that Thai VietJet flight was also named as Krisana. No airline can deny offering services to people with disabilities. The airline involved in this case will face legal action for violating a person's rights. And then, according to the Air Navigation Act stipulation, airlines that refuse to take care of persons with disabilities can face a fine of 50,000 to 500,000 baht. Now, at the time, I recall that Thai VietJet said that the person in the wheelchair didn't have a designated helper that would agree to helping him in the event of an emergency. So we'll see how that one plays out as well. And with that, I thank you very much for watching. I invite you to subscribe to the channel. That always helps us along our journey. In the meantime, thanks for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand, and we'll see you tomorrow.